Well, hello. I'm Emily, and I would like to welcome you to the Exhibit Museum of Natural History at the University of Michigan. So I see you're looking at Exhibit 04 about the artiodactyls. Well, you can read about what they are for yourself because today we're going to talk about one of my favorite animals. See the skull in the bottom left corner of the exhibit? That's the skull of a giraffe, which is the topic of our podcast today. And specifically, we're going to talk about possible reasons for the evolution of their necks. A giraffe's neck is extremely important. It is used for a multitude of activities in the daily life of a giraffe, such as eating, necking, establishing dominance over others, converting the giraffe into a lookout tower to spot predators and/or oncoming danger, as well as increasing its surface area in order to help shed heat in the hot climate that giraffes live in. They also use their necks to manipulate their center of gravity, which in turn helps them when it comes to running, climbing, standing, jumping, and many other activities. Now on to the interesting stuff. There are two hypotheses that are commonly used to explain the changes in the length of the giraffe's necks. The first is known as necks for sex, and the other, the more well-known of the two, is known as the competing browsers hypothesis. The male giraffes fight for supremacy amongst each other, as well as fighting to ensure their chances at finding a female with whom to reproduce. The fighting is known as necking, and it is when the long necks and strong heads of a giraffe are used to strike an opponent in the neck, chest, ribs, or legs that would seriously injure, knock unconscious, or even potentially be fatal for the opponent. This fighting is related to finding a mate because the giraffe that wins the necking battle will have a more likely chance to reproduce with the females. Thanks to their long necks, these victorious males have the ability to escape death and serious injury, which means that their traits will get passed on to coming generations. Several pieces of evidence have been found that would support this hypothesis. 1. Males that have longer necks are more likely to win the necking battles. 2. Female giraffes show preference to males with larger necks. And 3. Dominance contests among giraffes tend to involve displaying of the neck in some way. However, there are some challenges to this hypothesis. If males are the only ones participating in necking, then why do female giraffes also have long necks? On average, the neck of a female giraffe is only 35 centimeters shorter than that of a male's. So is this really why giraffes' necks are so long? The other hypothesis says that giraffes' necks have evolved because it has been more advantageous for giraffes who had longer necks to reach food that was higher in the trees, where there was less competition. This allowed giraffes to survive food bottlenecks in dry seasons and pass on their advantageous traits to offspring. However, a study done in the Serengeti found that giraffes spend most of the dry season eating from low bushes. Another study done found that both sexes of giraffes tend to feed at or below their shoulder height. So again, why the long necks? What do you think?